first on the fast lane car.
Hey guys, welcome to this unique Sema edition episode of TFLcar today. And with me as always is
Nathan.
And Andre.
And we all just got back from Sema, and we thought it'd be fun to kind of recap the show and give you the top 5 highlights from Sema. So let's roll right into it, boys.
Number 5, the GM reveals.
Yeah, Andre and I were at the dinner where GM revealed their new Sema cars and trucks, and it was what? All trucks and Camaros.
Yep, they had the Silverado, the Alaskan concept, they had the Hurley Colorado, and I think, like 10 Camaros?
Yeah, and of course the Copo Camaro, which is the dragster that they only make 69 of. But to me, my favorite by far was the Alaskan edition.
Yeah.
They brought a plow truck to Vegas. Can you believe that, Nathan?
Yeah, I saw it. It was really cool.
Did you see that they unveiled a snowplow in Vegas?
And GM said, and this is, you're getting on a good authority, that they're actually going to be making those concept trucks.
Yeah, and the Alaskan is actually will be on sale. You can order it now.
Yeah.
Although those 35-inch tires that look really cool on the concept truck will not make it to production. So you're going to get a slightly smaller tire.
A powerful work truck built to plow through snow and to move the snow. This is a double cab featuring Chevrolet's all-new Duramax diesel powertrain, including the new functional hood scoop intake. This engine makes a segment-leading 445 horsepower and a whopping 910 foot-pounds of torque. Plenty of power to push lots of snow in front of that enormous blade. It's the most powerful engine that Chevrolet has ever installed in a Silverado.
And speaking about trucks, we have our new book, Truck Nuts, the TFL Trucks Guide to Pickup Trucks, and it's available everywhere. And you can get it at trucknutsbook.com.
Yeah, so check that out. Andre wrote it. Nathan did the last chapter.
You did the foreword.
I did the foreword.
And of course, Mr. Truck, Ken Sunling.
All right, let's go to number 4, and that is your deal, Nathan.
That's right. 2 things with Hyundai. That's right. I went out and I got a chance to drive the Hyundai Elantra Sport, which blew me away, and that video is coming very, very soon.
Why did it blow you away?
Well, it's got 201 horsepower.
Whoa.
And they ripped out the rear end and put in a fully independent rear suspension. And it's well tuned. One of the guys who used to work at BMW and used to tune the BMW M Series, he's now working for Hyundai, and guess what he's doing?
We've got a unique rear fascia, definitely diffuser element towards the bottom. The exhaust is a dual chrome outlet exhaust. On the standard car, that's kind of hidden underneath the fascia. So with a sport model, we definitely want to make sure that you know what you've been passed by in the Elantra Sport with the standard 106 or 1.6 liter turbocharged engine as 201 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque at a very low 1,500 RPMs. So definitely something you can feel, day to day, because it is intended to be a daily driver. So we want to make it comfortable as well.
But also, they brought us in so we could look at their unveils at the SEMA show. So they had the Ionic, which is a terrible name, but it's a hybrid, and they decided that they would break the land speed record for a hybrid in that class.
65, 75?
It has nitrous, among other things, inside of it. And they had it there, and they talked about it. It was kind of interesting, not what I was expecting, I'll tell you that. The point is that they had all of these things out there. The Ionic was one of the things they really wanted to focus on. That, and of course, the Elantra Sport.
The thing with SEMA is, of course, it's an aftermarket parts show.
Yeah.
And the manufacturers, at least some of them, mainly the main ones, the main domestic ones, bring in cars, but they never can quite outdo what the aftermarket can do, right? Because the aftermarket is just bonko, and they don't have lawyers like the big companies do.
Yeah. Right.
So this stuff oftentimes is pretty tame in comparison to these monster trucks and monster Jeeps and monster anything.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, what they're trying to do is they're trying to show that they're a little hip. We get what you guys are trying to say, and here we go. Our guys built a car, and they used aftermarket parts, but we're still taking it easy because we're the automaker.
But oftentimes it feels like they're bringing a daisy to a gunfight.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I'd say a knife to a gunfight, but
But they also invite the builders to kind of build trucks with them.
Yeah, and Ford did that this year, which is our number 3 highlight. And Ford was, well, tell them, Andre, you were there with me.
It was, first of all, they have one of the biggest booths.
Yeah.
And they've included, F-150s, Mustangs, Ford Focus, Ford Fiesta.
Super Duties.
Super Duties. It was so many vehicles, but a lot of them were actually built by other customizers, basically. Other companies.
And by far, I thought the coolest one was the all-carbon Mustang. That was so cool. So they took a Mustang, Speedcore, took a Mustang, and they replaced every panel with carbon and dropped the weight of the car 500 pounds. Not the suspension, not the the chassis, just the outside bits. And that is huge. I mean, it's huge for fuel economy. It's huge for performance.
Yeah.
And it's also huge for cost because you could buy one for $150,000.
We at the team at Speedcore, we have an in-house capability of doing all pre-preg autoclaved carbon fiber. So we talked with Ford earlier on this year about doing a design project with them for this year's SEMA show. And one of the ideas we had was to illustrate our carbon capabilities and do a full carbon car.
Of course, carbon fiber is naturally carbon colored.
Yeah.
But you chose this kind of blue stripe. What was the inspiration for that?
Well, it's a Mustang and Ford blue, and it's a really good color, but it really popped and contrasted on the carbon. We tried a few other colors, and the blue just popped and had a nice contrast to it. But it really complements the car really nicely, I believe.
They also supercharged that car. That car was making over 800 horsepower. And the funny part is people were walking up to that Mustang and they're like, oh, that's just a wrap.
Yeah.
Because they were looking at the carbon. It was so well done with matched weaving that everybody thought they wrapped the car, but it was actually real.
I'm one of the guys who thought it was wrapped until somebody else told me it wasn't. The one issue, of course, was that there were so many Fords there. It was almost top heavy, so it sort of overdid it, I feel.
And of course, we also checked out Shockzilla. That was your pick. It was a truck that they lifted 8 inches and then added 15 inches of wheel of shock travel. So it was basically like a heavy Super Duty version of the Raptor.
Yeah, it was really cool. Those shocks, those aluminum body shocks were humongous.
Now, how much shock travel does this truck have? 15 inches in the back?
It's 15 inches in the rear.
Okay.
So that's what we get about the whole Super Duty. A lot of times people want to see Super Duties as pulling trailers, pulling campers, pulling boats, use them as work trucks. We wanted to incorporate this to something you can actually use off-road.
Have you taken it off-road? That's the question.
Yes, and I have not.
Yeah.
We will.
Okay.
We will definitely take it off-road and do some testing.
All right, number 2. Gentlemen.
Well, number 2 actually goes to a display that I thought was much more tasteful, and that was from FCA Mopar. They put out, they had 6 vehicles, but they also had crate engines.
Yeah, that was their big reveal. And the cool part about it was they actually started the engine on stage, so they had them hooked up.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then they had 6 vehicles, 2 of which we profiled. One was a CJ66, which was a mashup of a CJ, TJ, and JK. And the other one, which I thought was really cool, was the Shaker Durango. So they stuck a 392 Hemi into the Durango and put 6 Viper seats into it.
That was awesome.
That's the real man
Now
band.
that's a proper vehicle there.
That's the real man band.
But there are rumors about an SRT version of the Durango coming, and I was like, maybe this is sort of what it will look like.
So Todd, I just let the viewers know that this might be the prototype for the SRT Durango. How far off am I with that?
Yeah, this is a show car that we made just for the SEMA show. At Mopar, we get to do some fun things like shove 392s into Durangos, so don't read anything into it.
Well, actually, that goes to number 1 in terms of what manufacturers won't do and will do, especially here in the United States. You tell them.
Yeah, number 1, in our opinion, was the Honda Civic Type R, which was officially unveiled in North America at SEMA. Now, why is that important? Well, because it's the top dog Civic.
Yes.
We've never had it in North America.
Yes.
And we get it before the Europeans do.
Yeah.
Yes! Sorry,
get the newest
Europe.
version.
I gotcha. I think that's just fantastic. I've been looking in magazines and on videos for years and years and years with the Type R only being over there, never coming over here, and it's like they're teasing us and then they pull it away. Now we're going to get one.
Details were far and few in between. I really tried to get the answers. We're probably looking at least 300 horsepower, but they won't. It's probably going to be turbocharged.
Yeah.
They won't tell you what size engine displacement. When,
weight or anything.
Or the interior.
What interior? When will it be available? Sometime in the middle of next year. So it's definitely coming. And that was a concept. So will it look different? Probably not. That looked pretty much production ready.
It's coming next year. This is a prototype version, so it's not not totally product correct, but it'll be close to this. It's coming next year, and this is actually the North American debut. here at the Sema Auto
Yeah,
Show. So
it
it's the
rolled
first
out
time
in Paris, right?
Rolled out in Paris about a month ago.
So you're probably not going to tell me this, but I'm going to ask anyway. How much torque? How much horsepower?
yeah. Everybody wants to know. Common questions for sure. The current car in Europe, the current Type R, is a little more than 300 horsepower, and you can expect that this will move the needle a bit beyond that.
And the good news is, at least for me, I get to go to the Honda event that they're putting on. I'm going to be driving 2 of their new vehicles. So by the time you watch this video, I'm actually going to be out there driving some vehicles right before the LA Auto Show.
The Civic hatch.
Yes, I'm really excited.
So you get to do that. All right, guys, I have to mention this. At the Chevy night when they were introducing the trucks, they did the best trash talk of any manufacturer.
Ooh.
When they introduced, so of course you guys know probably that Ford says that it sells the most F-150s
or F-Series.
Yeah, most popular vehicle, over the last 30 years. So GM got sick of that, and they said, we have our own number, and that number is we sell the most trucks, period. So then they combined GM and GMC.
And Colorado and midsize and everything.
And Ram had a wonderful month. They sold a lot, and they're actually kind of starting to knock on GM's market share. So GM got up there and said, we sell more vehicles than, wait for it, Fiat Ram.
That's what they called it, Fiat Ram.
It was a rumbling in the audience.
Yeah. So there's a lot of smack talking going on in the truck world.
Yeah. It's if you came from our perspective, we actually get to see these guys and how they talk about each other and whatnot. And there's not a lot of love lost between Ford and General Motors, not at all. Hey, the bonus. Absolutely.
Yeah, we got to go to the bonus. Go for it, Nathan.
The bonus is Toyota. In general, Toyota, their booth, what they had set up, and some of the vehicles they had there. One thing they had was how many Corollas? It was 11.
All 11 generations of Corolla at the same place at the same time.
Right outside of where their main pavilion is, just outside, they had all of those Corollas set up. And inside, they had a bunch of cool things, but here's the one that stood out. The between 2,500 horsepower all the way up to 3,000 horsepower Toyota Land Speed Cruiser.
Whoa.
Top speed, 220 miles per hour.
Did they reach it?
Yeah. That's...
No, they didn't.
Oh, they did? No, that's what the guy told me.
No, they didn't. They only got to 165. That was the whole.
Oh, that's.
No, I was talking to the engineer when I was doing the interview, and I said, "Well, how have you tested it?" He's like, "Well, we had it on the oval. We had it at our proving grounds." He's like, and I went up 165, and we're still tuning.
Yeah, they couldn't get the transmission and the engine to talk to each other.
Now, by the way, the engine started out as a 5.7 liter V8, and it's now a 6.2 liter.
They bored it.
Yeah.
Twin turbos.
2 turbos.
Gigantic turbo.
Yeah, the
they're
coolest
huge.
part, normally where you have the fog lights, right, the holes, it's like little almost paper mache covers, and you take those off.
There's a big hole there.
It's just like dinner flies play turbo.
Right now, we've gone 165 miles an hour at the Toyota Arizona Proving Grounds. We weren't able to attain all the speed we wanted to get there because of time constraints. So we're going to go back there after this the show and continue our development. You have to take these things in steps. You can't just go right out and put the big number down. It never works out that easily.
So anyway, guys, if you like TFL, please check out our new show on Amazon, the Fast Lane Car and Truck. Just go to Amazon and type in TFLcar, actually not .com, just TFLcar, and you'll get our best videos. We've edited them down all summer into a half-hour episode. So there's cliffhanger, there's our reviews, there's all of our great truck stuff, there's all of our off-road stuff, all the stuff we did for Moab. And if you're a Prime member, it's streamable. If you're not, you can buy them. It's just our best work right there on Amazon. So please go check that out. As always, this is Roman.
And Nathan.
And Andre.
Saying thanks for watching, and check out, what, Nathan?
TFLcar for more news, views, and real-world reviews.
And what, Andre?
And TFLtruck.com for more news and cool truck stuff.
Yeah.
See you guys next time. Ciao.